modulate and find out what has got to be done. Let's keep all these things in mind. And I am very happy that Dr. Sita Ramanjanelu and Dr. Annapurna have been continuing this ritual and custom of taking the young faculty, new faculty, not necessarily young faculty, but new faculty into the folds of Vignan. Dr. Annapurna has given unwanted description about me. Don't worry about that. I am just your colleague, nothing more than that. Okay? Alright, let's all open the pages. Start with the pages, note down, start with your pen. How many days are there in a day? How many hours are there in a day? 20? Why not 25? Okay, alright, 24 hours. So in a day there are 24 hours, okay? Now, out of 24 hours, how many hours one should sleep? Oh yeah, good. She is very keen that one has got to sleep for 8 hours. In fact, one has got to sleep for, if you don't get sleep also, you should lie down for 8 hours. Alright? Not you, students. And that's what students do in the classroom. They would be very active all through the night. And when you start teaching, it will be a lullaby, therefore they will enjoy sleeping. But anyhow, 8 hours. So 24 minus 8 is 16 hours, right? Out of those 16 hours, you should understand at the undergraduate level, the BTech level or at BSc level, a student has got to essentially build a personality. For example, our law people also come straight after intermediate. They need to build up their personality. Building a personality implies that they have got to meet their peers, they have got to spend with them, they have got to find out how those people live, how, from which background have they come from, what are the problems in their life. They have got to do that. And at the same time, they should also build up their own images, which is not in the classroom. It's all outside. Therefore, in that 16 hours, he has got to spend considerable amount of time on playing, talking to his friends, watching a movie, alright, watching a movie together, alright, and they should explore the world. They should explore the world, right, which at least should take 2 hours per day. On an average, they should consume 2 hours per day, at least. In fact, it is good if they can spend 3 hours. But anyhow, let us start with 2 hours, at least 2 hours per day. All right. Then the daily routine activities like washing, taking bath, and then 3 meals in a day, at least at the rate of half an hour per day, etc. This would consume, let us say, about 3 full hours. Okay, taking bath, brushing, getting up, etc. All those things would consume another 3 hours. So 3 plus 2, 5 hours, isn't it? Plus, okay, if he is a residential student, there is all the advantage. If he is not a residential student, he gets involved in traveling, commuting, coming over here, right, and then going back. So in a city like Bangalore, it will be very bad. In a city like Mumbai, it is very, very bad. In a city like Kolkata, it will be very bad. That's the reason why it is always education should have been, strictly should have been Gurukula system. And that is the reason why even today, all institutions of national importance in India are residential campuses, strictly residential campuses. Okay, so Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore is a residential campus. All IITs, all IIITs, all NITs, all of them are residential campuses. Even Birla Institutes also are residential campuses. Right? But unfortunately, many of the educational institutions in India were totally found on ad hoc basis for two reasons. Number one, they were unable to support a residential system. Number two, parents were also unable to put the students in a residential system because obviously it was slightly more expensive than a student coming from home where he could get adapted. He has already been adapted, could stay along with the parents in the condition in situ. So that's why these things were allowed in India, right? So anyhow, that consumes at least 2 more hours traveling and then relaxing. Okay, even if the travel is for half an hour, the diversion is too much. Do you know why the diversion is going to be too much? Because the amount of input that one would get through eyes while traveling is so heavy, right? It can be the beautiful people around, it can be distracting people around, it can be distracting scenario outside, and it can be very different type of inputs. All these, whether wanted or not wanted, would get registered in the mind. So, to filter them out is one part, to find out which are very essential and to register them in another part. Therefore, your subconscious would get involved with that activity, right? So, that's what is called not memorizing, but they themselves will get into the memory, okay? Depending upon the priority that you would give, all right? For example, somebody could be hurt looking at a beggar, or somebody could be hurt looking at a police cop ill-treating some person, or somebody could be hurt looking at the audacity with which a rich man talking to a poor man on the road. All these things would affect people, right? See, on the other hand, in a Gurukula system, all these things will not be made visible to a student. They will not be made visible. So this will definitely take another 3 hours. So 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 2. Okay, 8 hours are gone, right? So 8 hours are very essential for all these routine activities which could be intensive activities. Like for example, on the day when your mother serves a food which you don't like and the way you react, that is instantaneous, that happens. But after effect is very strong. You react and you feel bad when you are traveling, right? You react and you will start thinking, you will start realizing why mother had to prepare such a simple food. You will start thinking. That effect will be longer. That has got a very bad effect, right? Isn't it? But all these things are overcome in a typical Gurukula system because you will be in the campus, you will be eating what all others would eat and you will be seeing. And once in a time you would talk to your parents. In fact, in a strict Gurukula system of Indian system, you are not allowed to see your parents for 1 full year. But here, nowadays, people come on the weekend itself to show their richness, to show their love over concern, everything. And people also enjoy that. Whatever it is, it has got effect. Therefore, 8 hours would be lost. So, remaining is how many hours? That's all. Remaining is only 8 hours. Assuming a week to be very effective for only 5 days, assuming, like let us assume, okay, 6 days, 6 into 8 is how many hours? That's all. So all these 48 hours should be made useful in the business, right? That's exactly a bank officer would do, that's exactly a police officer would do, that's exactly an IAS officer also would do. That is expected to work for 8 to 9 hours. 8 to 9 hours full work, because I have already accounted for rest, eating food, etc. in the 8 hours and sleeping 8 hours. Therefore, It has got to be fully 8 hours. But all these 8 hours are not continuous durations. They should not be continuous durations. All these 3 different 8 hours should be intervened, should be intermixed. In fact, 8 continuous hours of sleeping after certain age is not really recommended. You have got to sleep in 2 slaps. Even today, Italy has an official afternoon break for more than 2 hours, even today. Okay? Officially they break for more than 2 hours and that is what is known as Italian siesta. Right? They would definitely enjoy the afternoon. Even today you can see the elderly people, they take 1 hour break in the afternoon and they come back with enough charge back, and they stay back late in the evening. Right? Even today you could see that. So we have got to create. Even today if you go to Ramakrishna Ashrama schools, you can see that the students have a long afternoon break. Alright? And then again they come back to the institution. Right? So this has got to be interleaved, but therefore you have got only 48 hours. Is it alright? Okay? Could you get it? 48 hours. Because Sunday I do not like any student to touch anything. In fact, with my daughter, I was not asking her to touch her books. The moment she comes back on Saturday afternoon, she should throw her bag into some corner. And even if she tells that I have homework, assignment, etc., we were not allowing her to do that. From Saturday afternoon till Sunday evening, she is not supposed to do anything. She has got to just get recharged. Alright, she has got to spend time with grandparents, with us, with friends, go and play outside. She has got to do that. Alright, so, but unfortunately today's mothers, my God, how many of you are mothers? Okay, no. Today's mothers are very horrible mothers, and fathers are more horrible because they make mothers to tell that to children. And ask Annapurna, she would be forcing her son to study, daughter to study. And nothing less than 95% of marks, isn't it? Have no meaning at all. Absolutely they have no meaning, because what is important is learning. We are not focusing on learning. We are focusing on reproducing. We are focusing on getting marks. We are focusing to make them marks scoring machines. Right? And any mark scoring machines can only score marks, and it will not perform. It will not at all perform. Right? Okay. So let us now come from the other direction. So a student has got at most 8 hours per day. Right? Anybody, not only student, a police officer, a professor, anybody has got only active 8 hours, contributing 8 hours per day. But sleeping is not, don't think it is non-contributory, it is more contributory. If you sleep only, then you can perform these 8 hours. If you take proper food only, you will get enough energy, right? And that gives support to these 8 hours. But these 8 hours definitely should not be in one stretch continuous. It has got to have a break. That's the reason why working hours shall become 9 hours, 9 hours per day, right? That's the reason, because you need to have 1 hour, you need to have 15 minutes break and then half an hour break and then another 15 minutes break. That is how the 1 hour has been designed, okay? And then 8 hours of work, all right, okay? So that's what has got to happen. Keep it aside. Now let us come to the following definitions. 1 hour of lecture, 1 hour of lecture is equal to 1 credit. Write down. 1 hour of lecture is equal to 1 credit. Okay? Right? So if you deliver 1 hour of lecture, it's equal to 1 credit. So it's work for you. What is the student doing at that time? That is the worst part. You can deliver a lecture. Some teachers would involuntarily deliver a lecture also, even without involving. Isn't it? But on the other hand, You must have seen a very active teacher. He gets totally involved. He gets totally submerged. He starts doing research while teaching. He makes it an active learning, right? The way he runs to the board, the way he marks, and the way he comes back, and the way he takes up to the next step, and the way he builds up the story, whether it is electronics or law, whether it is history or a deep physics problem. All of them would make it so active, right? That 1 hour of lecture really is energy consuming, okay? But what has got to student do? That is where student has got to learn to focus, right? Try to focus, absolutely very difficult problem, okay? You try to focus, surely it is very, very difficult problem. Number one, he needs energy for that. Number two, naturally if he has got to focus, the time that had elapsed earlier to focusing should have been a wonderful time. Had it been a teasing time for him, he definitely cannot focus. So the teacher's job is to pull him from that unwanted background, okay? So this is number one. Number two, after focusing, he should listen carefully, right? So you are lecturing, yell, but he is listening, right? He has got to listen carefully. In fact, most of the teachers, unfortunately, would do two lousy things. Number one, they expect the students to write down, which is wrong, because after all you have only one brain. How many brains you have? Only one brain. You have only one central processing unit. How can two jobs be done? Right? And added to that, teachers do other hopeless thing because of modern technology, the smart boards. Because of this modern technology PPT, what they do is they put the full PPT and student would be reading something else, whereas teacher would be somewhere else. Okay? This you must be seeing. So even using the smart board, you have got to be very scientific. You have got to show only that PowerPoint about which you are speaking. You should not show the next PPT. Previous PPT should be available. Previous line should be available because somebody still might be going little lagging, therefore he would pick it up. On the other hand, showing the next content is wrong, which people have got to learn. They don't learn it. Even the most elderly people do this mistake, showing whole derivation, entire derivation visible over there. In fact, when you are doing the derivation of physics, mathematics, electronics, computing, you have got to be very careful because you have got to walk the derivation. You should not just put the derivation across. You have got to feel that the mathematics is getting evolved. You have to feel that the flower is opening coolly. And then absolutely the person should feel how a bud has become a flower. That's what has got to be done. And that is what a teacher has got to do. Therefore, that's a big trick. All right? There's a very, very big PowerPoint presentation is very important and it has got to be. On the other hand, while you are writing on a board, which naturally I got to use both of them, both the media, when you are using board, you have got to be very systematic. You should not write randomly on the board. And many times, perhaps when you were also students, you might have seen that when the teacher is about to clean the board, wipe the board, you will say, sir, hold on, I'm still copying down. Which means there is a perfect mismatch between you and the student and the learner. See, he is still copying. So his whole time is lost in copying. He is not concentrating on what you are speaking. Is it all right? Therefore, the modern technology should definitely come to help you. In what way it is going to help you? Number one, the material is already electronically available. Tell him there is no point in noting down everything. You note down what is very essential for you to be noted down in the process of learning. Could you get it? In the process of learning. The entire material, because it is already electronically available, it's your content only, it is your property only. Okay? You tell them. So a teacher has got to give either a hard copy or a soft copy. Preferably hard copy has got to be delivered. An institution should deliver the hard copy. Is it clear? That's what you have got to do. Even it could be mathematics, even it could be physics. Because while you are doing, the focus has got to be to learn what has been happening. Isn't it? See, if somebody keeps noting down, somebody's speed could always be low than somebody else's speed, and the whole thing would be lost. Isn't it? Right? This is what you have got to realize. Right? This no BA teacher, no MA teacher would tell you. Right? This is only the engineering teacher or a medical teacher can tell you. Agriculture teacher also will not tell you, because essentially teaching in agriculture happens to be in the field only. It will be less in the classroom. Right? So that would happen in the field. Therefore, he cannot keep a notebook also there in the agricultural field, right? So an engineering teacher or a medical teacher could definitely tell more powerfully about that. Okay, so be careful while you are using the modern gadgets. They have the advantage. If you misuse that, they misfire. They definitely misfire. Most of the teachers, 70 to 80% of the teachers are spoiling the education only because of this reason, because they do not know how to use a smart board, they do not know how to use a overhead projector, they do not know how to use a PowerPoint. They do not know. They definitely do not know, because the way you derive the animation that you have got to do on a PowerPoint screen is more time consuming than what you put blindly on a PowerPoint and show the entire thing to the student. Remember, recall, you might have delivered your lectures, you might have delivered your scientific presentations, you will show the entire PPT, isn't it? Right? You have got to go step by step, as if you are inventing the next step, and make him the part of that invention. In fact, he should start guessing what would be the next line that you are going to show. And if the next line happens to be the same line that he has thought of, how beautiful he feels. How he feels that he is also a scientist, he is also a creator, he is also a researcher. Right? That is a level to what you have got to bring any learner. So that really requires a lot of preparation at home. So a teacher's job is a 24/7 job, because you have got to keep imagining what has got to do. So on the other hand, a student has got to carefully listen. So L stands for listening also. Therefore, the L class should not be more than 1 hour, because the student's periodicity to learn a new point is not more than 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so only 4 to 5 points can be conveyed, 4 to 5 new points can be conveyed in 1 hour teaching. Could you get it? And these points have got to be properly interlaced. It has got to be 1 point for every 10 to 12 minutes. Right? You have got to take it, tell the story about it, and bring it, derive it, do it, complete it, whatever it is, and then pause. Give a small revision of those 12 minutes, what you did. So you should not rub the board. You should not, now you show the whole PPT and show him this is what you did, this is what you did, this is what you did. Give a summary. And then for next 1 minute, allow them to relax. Not that you become silent, you talk some nonsense, not sense of the subject, but nonsense of the subject, which is more sensible to deposit what he has learnt. Could you get it? right? You should talk about today's newspaper. You should talk about today's latest achievement. You should talk about the latest Nobel Prize, which was in this field. You should talk about the institution which has done a pioneering work in this area. You should talk about the research scholar who is working with you. You should, whatever, very relevant, appropriate. Change the mood, okay? Bring back. Put a next 1 minute, you bridge the story now. You bridge to what you are going to speak for the next 15 minutes. And then create the enthusiasm for him to cross the bridge along with you. Then go for next 12 minutes. Could you get it? Then go for next 12 minutes. Repeat it. So at most 4